David Bolton Racing's Inside Track, and this morning I'm in Pilltown with Joseph O'Brien. How are things, Joseph?
Good, thanks, Davey, and yourself?
Yeah, very good, thanks. And JJ Slevin's here with us as well. How are things, JJ?
Yeah, thanks, Davey, and yourself?
You're injured at the minute?
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Very good. Joseph, you had a nice winner last night. Lustful filly that won in Tipperary. The soft ground seemed to suit her.
Grand Davey likes the soft ground. She's a well-bred filly. Goes back to 6 perfections. Are really stout in the Arcos family, so she was bought to breed off and try and get her to win before that. So it's nice that she's won now, and so she'll probably race on for a little while again, and then she'll be covered next year.
Very good. We were watching the 2-year-old colts there, that lot. Air Force Jet, a horse who won in Navan the last day for you. He got beaten the first day, just touched off, but seemed to improve a lot, and I'd say he'll probably be even better over further again, will he?
Yeah, he's a fast horse. Won well the last day. Looked beaten actually, and came back and won. Done a very good time on the day, and he'll probably go straight to Ascot now. It's nice to have the 2 runs before we go there, and nice call for the rest of the season, hopefully. Very
good. And Latrobe, how is he?
Good form. He goes to Ascot as well. He's ran well. He's 2 runs this year without winning. Behind Magical, obviously, she's an outstanding filly, and he goes straight to Ascot now, hopefully all being well.
And he'll run in the Hardwick Stakes?
He's in the Hardwick, but he'll also have an entry in the Wolverton, and he'll run in one or the other.
And obviously Royal Ascot's an aim, but the big aim, I suppose, will be go back to the Ledger this year and hopefully win that. Probably,
yeah. He'll be aimed at those races in the autumn, and he'll head back to Australia then, hopefully all being well after that. So he's not going to be kept too busy through the summer. Hopefully he'll be busy in the autumn.
Speaking colours, he's a nice horse.
Yeah, he's a fast horse as well. They're a good sprinter. Just touched off in a Group 2 the last day
by Mr. Lupton.
Yeah, who looks a very good horse. So he has a couple of entries in Ascot actually as well. There's also a nice race at the Curragh for him. So not 100% sure where he's going yet, but he's a horse that hopefully we can get him to win a Group 2 this year. We'd be delighted with that.
Obviously see how that goes, but I see he has an entry in the July Cup as well then.
All them races are open to him, yeah. Obviously if you win your Group 2 you're into Group 1s after that, so he has plenty of big entries.
Do you find with a lot of those races that they all obviously need to be very good horses to be winning those, but if you ran those races a lot, you'll get throw up different results, you know. Yeah. Sometimes it's just about on the day and a bit of luck.
Yeah, in them sprints you need a bit of luck, good draw. Thankfully, in Speaking Colours case, he's uncomplicated because he can go forward, and if he has to make his own run, he can do that. He likes to get a lead off one if he can, but he's an uncomplicated, consistent horse. He seems to have kept his best form to the Curragh, which is not a bad place to perform well. So we'll probably head there when we can.
Okay, and Red Tea, she's a 6-year-old mare now by Saki. She's had 3 runs for you, and she was 4th, she won, and then she had a good run when she was 3rd as well. She might go to Royal Ascot, will she?
Yeah, she's improved a hell of a lot. Won a good handicap at the Curragh very impressively. She then went and was just beaten in a Group 2. So she's a very decent mare, and winning in Group Company will be her main aim. She might go to the Duke of Cambridge in Ascot.
If she goes to the Duke of Cambridge, then she gets a 4-pound swing with the horse who was 2nd in front of her the last day when she finished 3rd, horse of your father's.
She does. Stiff Mind seems to suit her well. I don't think I feel she'll get further though, so good bunch of lads own her, and hopefully they're in for an exciting few months.
Very good. And Indressa, who obviously was a huge horse for you in that last year, winning in Newmarket in October, the Group 1. What will be the plan with her now?
Sure, trying to win another Group 1 will be the main plan, Davey. Ran very well in the Irish Guineas. Little bit unlucky not to be 3rd. She made a bit of trouble early on in the race and had to fight for her position. She goes up and trip next to the Pretty Polly.
And the horse who obviously won the Guineas is a superstar.
Hermosa looks very good.
And she beat her in Newmarket last year.
Yeah, we beat her last year. She's looked extremely good this year. She's really improved from 2 to 3. But our filly, we think, will step up when she goes up in distance, so that's the plan now.
And the Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot, she's entered that, and then the Pretty Polly, she has an entry as well.
She does, yeah. Probably more likely she goes straight to the Pretty Polly at the moment.
Okay, very good. And Master of Reality?
Good staying horse, won the group race in Navan.
He ran well in the Savile Lake Stakes.
Yeah, Leopardstown is sharper track than Navan. He's a horse that'll stay forever. Likely to go to Ascot. What race, I'm not sure yet. We'll speak to Lloyd and Nick Williams and see. Might end up in the World Cup.
We'll see he has an entry in that, and the Ledger as well, probably be a name as well.
Exactly, yeah. Probably he's a horse David who wants even further than a mile and 6, really, you know. So, yeah, but he is all in plenty entries.
Very good. Alligator Alley, a 2-year-old colt by Kingman, who's a stallion who's doing very well. He was behind Sunday Sovereign, who won yesterday in Tipperary, who was very impressive, and he looks the real deal, Sunday Sovereign. But the horse that was second, a horse of your father's, Arizona, he's won since as well, and I think the 5th has won since, so it was a very good maiden.
Really strong maiden. We liked him going there. We were slightly disappointed with the run on the day, but when you look back at what's come out of the race since, it was a serious run. Arizona and Sunday Sovereign, I think they might be close to being favoured for the two of the 2-year-old races in Ascot. Yeah. So, yeah, he'll go back. He has an entry in Navan at the weekend, and also to Curra. So we'll see. But he's a nice colt.
Downdraft won well in Dundalk, and he ran well, carrying a lot of weight in a Premier Handicap in the Curra the last day. What will be next for him?
From a bad draw, he goes to the Duke of Edinburgh at Ascot. Owners, OTI racing, great bunch of people. They've been good to me, and it'd be nice to have a winner over there for them. There'll be a few of them there from Australia, I'd say. So looking forward to that. That race has been the plan for him for a while.
And a horse who was just ahead of him, a horse of your own as well, Mean. He ran well in that Premier Handicap as well, and he might go to Royal Ascot as well.
Did ran a cracking race, first run after a layoff.
Only beaten 5 lengths.
That's all, and he came from last with trouble in running. Thought it was a lovely setup for Ascot for him, and he'll go to that race as well, the Duke of Edinburgh.
Horse who looks very impressive is Buckhurst, a horse by Australia. Obviously, you know Australia very well. He won a Derby on him. He's a very exciting horse.
Very exciting horse, Davy. Just got nabbed in the Curra in a Group 2. Constantinople, the dad's beat him, who looks a kind of a Ledger type horse. We have entries in Ascot and the Irish Derby. Ultimately, Lloyd and Nick will make the decision on where he goes. That conversation will probably have to be had this week. But he's a high class gold, and it's going to be better next year, I'd say.
And when he won on debut, then the second horse since then, Jackie Yates, he's won as well, and he was 5th behind Broome, who was 4th in the Derby, just touched off the other day. So it's very strong form, as you said.
Strongest form around for 3-year-olds at the moment. So and he never raced at 2, Davy, you know. So he's an exciting colt, absolutely. And is
there any other 2-year-olds to keep an eye out on, looking forward to?
Nice 2-year-old called Dark Vader. He has an entry at the weekend by Dark Angel. Some nice fillies. A nice filly runs tomorrow called A New Dawn in Leopardstown.
She had a good first run.
Nice run to Curra first time out. So I think I have some nice 2-year-olds. I'm looking forward to getting them all started now in the next few months. And
before I let you go, I'd have to talk about your father, his 7th Derby at the weekend. I see you were there. Great day for all of you.
Fantastic day. He did a great bunch of 3-year-olds this year. They weren't sure which was the best of them. Seamus gave Anthony Van Dyke a fantastic ride. Delighted for him. He's been placed in the Derby before. I know it's a race that he's always really wanted to win, and I was over the moon for him and everyone. But it's still exciting times. The Irish Derby is going to be an outstanding race. I'd say plenty of them will line up there, and yeah, it's looking forward to that.
There's nothing between them at all, really. When you see where they finished, you could throw a blanket over the first 5 of them, and when you go back and look back at the prices, Anthony Van Dyke was the winter favourite as well, so it just shows you the way it swaps and changes.
And he was the highest rated horse in the going into the race. Kevin's horse, Mad Moon, ran an outstanding race.
He did.
He's live contender for the Irish Derby as well, so no, it's an exciting time, and looking forward to the Curra now.
Tell us a little bit about Blackrock Syndicate. They've obviously, people I'm sure I've seen on social media the way their celebrations of their 2 wins. Tell us a little bit about how that came about and the horse that they have.
Yeah, great bunch of lads, Davy. They have their first horse with me this year, a horse called Arturian Fame. So Piers Dargan, who would be friends with a chap called Johnny Murphy, who was manages syndicate that was with me, expressed an interest in getting involved in a horse. This horse had just come home from Newmarket, not sold, and just the timing was right that he came up for sale as the boys were looking for a horse, and there's a big bunch of them in it. Pierce manages the syndicate, and they've got very lucky with him, and it looks like they're going to have a run at Royal Ascot, all being well.
That's good for them. And JJ, you're an assistant role at the minute, is it?
I know about that, Davey. I come down here every day and have a look around anyway, and maybe I'm more of a nuisance than I am a help at the minute, unfortunately.
And tell us a little bit what happened to you and how long you'll be out for.
Yeah, so I done a C7 in my neck in Punchestown, and I suppose I'll be out for another month. And there's a break in jump racing from the end of June into the 1st of July, and hopefully to be back after that.
So you'll hopefully be back for Galway now.
Yeah, that's the plan, David.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be fitting well for then.
Good, and you'll be here every day when you are riding?
Yeah, I work here every day when I'm going to be strong. Yeah.
Good, and it was a great year for you. You had a very good season, obviously Cheltenham being the highlight.
Yeah, very lucky. Joseph's very, very good to me, and I had a good agent in Kent Whelan, so very lucky, and it was a great year, and so very fortunate really.
Very good. Well, listen, thanks very much, lads. I appreciate you taking the time, and best of luck with the rest of the season, Joseph.
Thanks, Davey.